from Washington, this is VOA News. The UN initiates anti-Ebola plans in Mali. U.S. President Obama takes his case for immigration actions on the road. I'm Vincent Bruce reporting from Washington. The United Nations Secretary General Ban Ki-moon said Friday that he will open a branch of the special UN mission to fight Ebola in Mali, where there have been 6 fatal cases of the virus in recent weeks. Speaking in Washington Friday, Mr. Ban said there has been progress in fighting the outbreak in West Africa. However, results have been uneven, and the recent emergence of a handful of cases in Mali is of particular concern. U.S. President Barack Obama says the American immigration system has been broken for a long time, as he defended taking executive action to overhaul the system. Obama told a rally in Las Vegas Friday he's been committed to solving the American immigration problem since he took office and said he's doing something about it. Ukraine has marked the one-year anniversary of the Euromaidan uprising that led to the ouster of Russia-backed former President Viktor Yanukovych. VOA's Daniel Scharf has more.
Ukrainian leaders paid their respects Friday to protesters killed during the Euromaidan revolution that began 1 year ago in the capital Kyiv. President Petro Poroshenko and Prime Minister Arseniy Yatsenyuk were heckled as they laid candles at a memorial to those who died around the square, known as the Maidan. Relatives of the 100 or so deceased, known as the Heavenly Hundred, shouted shame and demanded they be recognized as national heroes. Mr. Poroshenko apologized, urged unity, and said he would sign an order within hours declaring them heroes. He says when you give your life for your country, you are a hero. He asks the crowd if they agree, and they shout back, yes. Daniel Scharf, VOA News, Kyiv.
This is VOA News. Law enforcement in Ferguson, Missouri, has agreed on rules of engagement with some organized activist groups to ensure demonstrations are peaceful when a grand jury decision is issued in the coming days on whether or not to indict a white police officer who shot and killed unarmed black teenager Michael Brown in early August. The incident sparked weeks of sometimes violent protests in the St. Louis suburb and has become a flashpoint for U.S. race relations. The grand jury that is hearing the case has been in session since the end of August and is continuing to deliberate the case. U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry is staying in Vienna to step up nuclear talks with Iranian Foreign Minister Mohammad Javad Zarif, with a deadline for agreements looming. Talks on the future of Iran's nuclear program and international sanctions against the country continued in Vienna on Friday. VOA's Al Pesson reports on Friday's developments.
The British and French foreign ministers joined U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry here Friday to urge their Iranian counterpart Mohammad Javad Zarif to make the compromises necessary to reach an agreement. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov consulted with Kerry by phone and said in Moscow that all the elements are on the table, but what he called more effort is needed. Both sides have significant motivations to reach an accord. Iran wants to end crippling economic sanctions, and the UN team wants verifiable assurance that Iran cannot secretly or quickly build a nuclear weapon. Al Pesson, VOA News, Vienna.
The World Health Organization Friday declared an end to the Ebola outbreak in the Democratic Republic of Congo. The WHO released a statement saying it has been 42 days, or twice the maximum incubation period, since a new case of Ebola has been detected in the DRC. Also, the World Health Organization is reporting an outbreak of plague in Madagascar, and warns the disease could spread quickly in the country's capital. Plague is a bacterial disease spread to humans by infected fleas. If diagnosed early, bubonic plague can be treated with antibiotics, but pneumonic plague is highly deadly and can kill a person 24 hours after infection. Residents of upstate New York, one of the nation's snowiest places in the U.S., are trying to cope with a year's worth of snowfall over 3 days, while bracing for the flooding that could come next as temperatures begin to rise over the next few days. Several robots have recently started patrolling Microsoft's compound in Silicon Valley as security guards. Autonomous, movable platforms equipped with lasers do some work already, but the robots are a new step in usage of robots. I'm Vincent Bruce in Washington.
That's the latest world news from VOA.